Hello, hello.
You're live.
Okay. Yeah, I briefly came on the monitor and now I'm gone.
Wait, can you not see yourself up here?
I cannot. It came on for like a split second.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Now?
Hey.
Ah.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? I am
Well centered in frame, hopefully.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting soon.
Yes, we hear a yes.
Yes, great. Did you do another Q&A? No, it's April 8th. No, we don't need that. Let's see here.
Yeah, were they April 15th?
I'm logging on here. I got it. Yeah, there we go. So the chat you can expand, right? Let's see here. Pop out chat.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I'm learning. All right. Okay. Y'all are lucky I had the time to even talk to you this week. But anyway, hello, Marc. I own Orbit, the cute little horror porn shop on the corner in Asheville, North Carolina. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Hopefully you're good too. It's a beautiful spring day. We're calling this backhoe day. Our neighbors are doing something with a backhoe because that's what they do. But we love them. They're great neighbors, actually. And I'll let them backhoe as much as they want. But anyway, lots to talk about today. We have got good stuff for you to talk about. And let's talk about local. How many of you are local? Probably nobody or one. Robbie, are you on? You're the one. You're the guy. But anyway, local happenings. We had a very busy Sunday night. I first judged a deviled egg contest at the DeSoto Lounge. Shout out to them. Yes, I was able to eat about 12 deviled eggs. And then I went immediately to our new Orbit screenings. We are screening movies at Asheville Pizza every Sunday at 7 p.m. Nice early evening. Good way to cap off the weekend. So anyway, I kicked off the whole series by showing a film. Thankfully, Charles was there too, because there was some audio problems that we eventually worked out. But anyway, that's not our fault. It wasn't our fault. But anyway, that should be resolved by the next one. So anyway, Ty actually was hosted very successful film screenings at the Grail. He's taken over, I think, the next 2 weeks, and I think it's going to be Evan after that. So that's going to rotate through our employees, our coworkers, and this looked. It was full. It was packed. So super happy about that. And another thing is we're going to be doing with Edna Rhine. We are co-sponsoring. I just forgot to write this down. Deadly Prey Gallery. If you're unfamiliar with Deadly Prey Gallery, I have a humongous poster behind over there that I'll break out for a social media post. But anyway, Brian had a video store forever in Chicago. That's how I first met him. Anyway, he is the guy that went to Ghana and he found the guys doing those crazy Ghanaian movie posters. So a great story and very inspirational story. Brian gives a majority, like a vast majority of the profits back to the artists in Ghana. But anyway, I think he's going to be here. It's the same night as Guar, which is, what is that, the 24th?
He's going to be here the 27th.
27th. That's a Monday at Edna Rhine. So if you're local, come check that out and buy some of his posters. I'm pretty sure he'll have originals as well as copies out there, the prints.
Here, just really quick.
There we go. There's Deadly Prey. Ed Ryan, not Edna Ryan. All right, cool.
Yep.
Good stuff. I have the original Possession. About putting it back here, but it might need to be blurred or a little bit. I don't, maybe not. I don't know. It's just gross. Possession is a gross movie. That is one of my favorite films. But anyway, come check that out as well. All right. It's come to the time. We have a new segment. I can't say I love this segment, but I think it needs to be said. And what I'm saying is, y'all crazy. That's right. Y'all crazy. This is some, okay. So we're in Appalachia. It really should be Yuns. Yuns. Y-O-U apostrophe U-N-S. But Yuns crazy doesn't have the same roll off the tongue as y'all crazy. So I'm still Southern, even though I'm mountain. So it's y'all crazy. Now, if I was in Pittsburgh, it'd be Yins crazy. Yins crazy. Yins is a offshoot of Yuns. I think I've talked about that multiple times during this live stream. But anyway, y'all crazy means the crazy shit that y'all come up with. And y'all, I mean collective y'all. And collective y'all meaning probably 0.01% of y'all. All of y'all are awesome. I'm sure most of y'all, if not all of y'all, on this live stream are incredible people. But some of y'all have to come up with the most insane bullshit I've ever heard to rationalize how we hurt you. How we hurt you. And I'm going to talk about our used sale last week. It went great. It went great. Most of y'all know what happens with a singular type of sale like the used sale. We only have one copy of these things. And if it's something that everybody wants, for example, D2, the Mighty Ducks Blu-ray, only one person can get it. And if 100 of y'all had it in your cart and you missed out, then you missed out. I mean, that's just the way it goes, right? So congratulations to the one person who got it. But anyway, what happened during the sale was some of the funniest shit I've seen of the week. Let's see what happened here. Oh, all the employees were able to buy these before we started. No, that didn't happen. Let's see what else they say. They said you yank stuff out of carts. No, that didn't happen. My favorite one was I personally changed a used movie to a new movie so it wouldn't sell. No. I wanted this shit gone. I didn't care if it was $150 or $5. I want it all sold. And there was lots of stuff that was over $100 that a lot of people were able to take advantage of and got an amazing deal on. And congratulations to you. But I wanted this stuff out of here. I wanted it gone for the reasons I'm about ready to talk about in a few minutes. But anyway, it's incredible to see the rationalization of why someone could not get something. Now then, that being said, I think we have come to the point where Orbit is maybe too big for these type of sales where there's only one copy of something in stock. I'm going to reevaluate it. But in the future, at least for the immediate future, and there's some amazing stuff coming up, and I'm going to tell you here in a minute. But in the immediate future, it's going to be the sales where it's basically a label partnered sale where you can buy the movies from us that's connected to one company. So those sales do fine. But anyway, the used sale, we had a blast. We thought it was great. A few of you, though, were butthurt. Orbit hurt you. And you were just finding ways to come up with why you could not get a movie that probably dozens, if not 100 people also are trying to get. Charles, you're moving in your seat. Is there something you want to add to this?
More just that there was that just really stiff accusation that we were holding on to products for friends. And I really resent that they're saying out there that we have friends. It feels really accusatory.
So let's address this. And this is going to be another semi-comical video I'll probably make about, maybe I'll do this under Y'all Crazy. The craziest shit y'all say during customer service interactions. But the number one thing I teach every new hire, every new employee is there are no friends of Marc. Marc has no friends. Meaning that if someone says they know me or they're my friend, are they my friend? Are they? My friends pay full price. They do. They're not trying to fish any type of deal or anything like that. So keep that in mind for future sales. We probably will have, because we're making a lot of stuff on clearance, and we probably will have a clearance sale, meaning that again will be singular titled items, and those will be gone. You'll have them in a basket. Maybe now we're exploring ways maybe to make this a little more. Well, it's always fair. It depends on how fast your internet is, I suppose. But anyway, maybe make all the titles disappear until 12 noon. I don't know. But anyway, we will revisit this in the future. But for right now, that's it for a while. We'll see.
There was one comment in here I wanted to just address.
Sure.
I know y'all can hear me down the well here. It was about the sales starting early. We have historically had an issue with starting too late. And when we run those sales, we have to run both a couple large batches of scripts. So you'll see things start to kind of populate early, but most of the time, even if we are running anything early, we are only running it maybe 4 to 5 minutes. And that is just as it comes online. And for consideration to people that are, they haven't refreshed the page yet. So we just in general try to get everything up in time. You might see something a few seconds early, but I guarantee you, if I'm a few minutes late, I absolutely will also hear it.
Yeah, I think maybe a solution to that is just to pull everything offline until it's all sort of the prices are changed. The problem is the problem is it's kind of like people can't quantify in their mind how much they're saving. So before Charles came on board full time, we would use the method that's on Shopify, meaning you'll see the price reflected in your basket
at checkout.
At checkout, yeah. So the price is not reflected on the page. Well, we had tons of complaints about that. How much am I saving? What am I doing? It's like, well, if you can't figure, I'm not saying if you can't figure that out, because lots of people can't think that way. But so we're almost in like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. So anyway, the solution we came up with is like, well, let's just change the prices. Well, actually, I tried that once with an app, and it was disastrous. It took 2 hours to change the prices with this app. And then they didn't change them back after the sale was over. So it was a disaster. So the issue now is like Charles has got to really refine to as close as we possibly can. Maybe the issue is, and what I said to let people know, if we do this again, and like I said, we're probably going to do something for clearance, to take it offline, wait for everything to, I guess, populate or change, and then make everything live at once. That might be the most, I guess, probably the most logical way to do it. But anyway, it's all a learning process, right? So that's basically all I'm going to say about that. But thank you so much for this edition of Y'all Crazy. Y'all Crazy. And the comment about a couple minutes early, that is a legitimate complaint. I do hear you on that. We both hear you on that. So y'all, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Others are, though. The one that said I changed a used item to new, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Speaking about crazy, I got some crazy deals coming up here. Let's talk a label sale. Let's do it. It's been a couple months, I guess, since the indicator sale. Let's do another one. This one we thought we had snagged at the beginning of the year, but we were waiting for the list, but we got the list. So we are going to do a Blue Underground 30% off sale from April 27th through May 10th. April 27th through May 10th. So that is 30% off our prices, which will take you to around 50% off SRP, which a lot of y'all are accustomed to. Now that unlike the used sale, this will not be singular items. You'll order to your heart's content over the course of 2 weeks. There are a couple of titles that are going out of print, so we will have finite copies available of those on our website. But once those are gone, those are gone. But everything else looks pretty much good to go. But anyway, 30% off Blue Underground. And what it looks like is now I think there's maybe a couple of Blue Underground titles coming up. They have not released anything in a while. I think maybe since the end of September. So everything is available to me. So I will get the list going. But like a lot of these companies block brand new releases, but there hasn't really been a brand new release from Blue Underground in a while. So we are pretty confident it's going to be pretty much everything that is available from Blue Underground that we want to make available to this sale. So keep that in mind. That starts at the 27th of April at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Maybe give it a couple of minutes after that, and you'll see the prices pop up, but we'll see. But once again, there's no rush to this one because everything will pretty much be available. There's going to be a couple titles. Daughters of Darkness is one of them, by the way. That's going out of print. So there's only a few copies left of those. I will actually stock those here in the store, just make sure that we have those copies available. But it looks like everything else is good to go. So anyway, Blue Underground. We were just told that a major company wants to do a sale with us. We might be the only company outside of Barnes & Noble that is having a sale this year with them. So that's coming up probably soon after the Blue Underground sale. So stay tuned for that one. So I'll let everybody know coming up. All right. Used haul real quick. This is my favorite part of the show. This is crap I bought from you guys. And I use crap affectionately, of course. But anyway, thank you to everybody who has been patient with our used movies. It took about 5 or 6 weeks. But anyway, we are back slamming these things out. We added about 400 copies of movies, 400 titles to the website last weekend. I am working on hundreds of more. Hundreds are going to be hopefully added by other people. Let's see if I'm going to show you this. But anyway, y'all have been sending us movies, tons and tons and tons of movies. Let me see if I can find the photo in here.
Which one are you looking for?
The photo of the VHS suite.
Did you put it on Instagram?
I put it on Instagram, but I'm not seeing here, oddly enough. I took a photo. I didn't use an Instagram photo. Huh. Oh, here it is right here. That's all used movies over the past 5 weeks. This was pretty much empty before we got started. So anyway, we were all working on it really hard. Ty, Danny, and myself, and Jamie. Jamie's been our used guru for the past couple of years here. So these are some used and a couple of new ones here. Anyway, let us go down to top-down camera. Still need to maybe fix that light eventually.
Oh, here I can.
Oh, no, I can do. This is fine. There we go. Yeah, it's focusing in. Oh, that's even better right there. Okay, cool. I don't think I even heard about these Jallows before. This is that's like Mill of the Virgin, but not Millstone Women, and I forgot what that's called. Anybody know German? You look that up for me. That's really cool. That's new. This is actually a really good. People sometimes forget about the '90s Walter Hill, but this is a really good film here. This is the year that I think they had. Like they always come in twos, right? But this, I think Costner had one as well this time. But this is Jeff Bridges and Ellen Barkin and Wild Bill. Here's all the used stuff. Everything here is below $50. Some even cheaper than that. But here is we're good friends with Def Crocodile. This is out of print. So Cat City. Believe it or not, this is my first Gummo I ever bought 4K from Criterion from y'all, meaning that y'all are hanging on to Gummo 4K, meaning y'all are a bunch of weirdos. Anyway, there it is. Here is a Steelbook. This is not a 4K Steelbook. This is a Blu-ray Steelbook, but I do like this cover, even though I'm not a fan of the movie. Yes, I said that. John Carpenter peaked with They Live. And then finally, we got a bunch of used and new Second Sight films. But here is When Evil Lurks. There's a very, very small blemish around here. But, as you can see, there's nothing much. You can't really even see it from this camera angle. So that is it from me as far as the used haul goes. We are adding hundreds and hundreds and hundreds each week. So just keep checking back with us. Our goal is to get to take ourselves out, hopefully in 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. But I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. But anyway, if you want to trade or sell us anything, yes, we will still take them. I want a larger pile. You can email us at webmail@orbitdvd.com. That is webmail@orbitdvd.com. The best thing to do is take photos like so, stack your movies up. We'll send you a quote. If you like that quote, we will give you either cash or credit after you mail them in. I think we are getting close to having our how to mail in video being done, right? Like that's happening. So that'll be on the website. So we'll let you know about that. So that's the used haul of the week. But once again.
And for trading, not just movies. What else do we do?
Oh yeah, we are really going to start marketing that we buy video games as well. So you can trade in video games, and we'll give you a credit for movies if you want. So yeah, people already do trade in games, but we can use a lot more games for sure. This area is tapped out. Helene is a bitch. I mean, really, if you want to see an area after a disaster, this area is a good example. So anyway, used haul of the week. All right, I'm going to blast through these. Actually, I got some stuff to talk about, but it's mainly what is coming in the next couple of days. So that is a major news here because this has got to be one of the busiest weeks I personally have ever seen since we've been open. But anyway, pre-orders. Let's start with a big pre-order, and I don't know if you have a graphic of this. This is our first limited run T-shirt. Yeah, so we, thanks to Ramona, we got a great design. And I think we're going to be adding sizes. We had a request for a XXX. Did you?
Yes, I just added.
Okay, yeah. So we're adding all the.
It was added right just a moment ago.
Oh, great. So we're adding all the X's for you. Adding all the X's for you here. But anyway, I guess you're still working on that.
What?
Do you want to show a graphic of the shirt?
I am. I'm bringing it up.
Okay, great.
Give
So,
me 1 second.
right.
Yeah. All right. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Thank you, Ramona, for that. That's a great design. Ramona, of course, went above and beyond, and she gave us dozens of designs, but this one we love the most. There we go. Yeah, perfect. All right. Cool. Anyway, you can pre-order a shirt. Now keep in mind that it just unfortunately this does not count as medium male, which I'll be answering as a question that was submitted about posters here in a minute. But it's not medium. So
hey, Mark, so when would we be able to get those shirts if we ordered them?
When?
So we don't have them in stock right now.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to fulfill all the pre-orders for shirts, and then we're going to have a small amount of stock left for the store. And then we're going to try this because I just feel that this is a better way to go. We're going to move on to the next shirt. So we're only going to have one design at one time, and then we're going to move on to the next. So that's the way it's going to be from this point forward. All right,
we have a lot of really cool ones in the
there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in the chamber ready to go. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Okay. I just added about an hour ago the Criterions for July. So it's like HUD. Alice doesn't live here anymore. Elephant Man, a reissue of Elephant Man. We kind of knew that's coming 4K. And what else? Crying Game, all that. So that's up now on the site. I also added Alice in Wonderland 4K. This is a very, very short pre-order. So the date on that is the 5th of May. So we have probably only a couple weeks, and then that's going to be over. Also coming up here, our friends at Radiance. More to come about that. This is, I think, maybe their June or July releases. I can't remember. Maybe July. But the Boxer, the Double, Vampire's Kiss 4K. That's the transmission, I believe. 2 boxes, Televised Terror and Franco Spain, History of Film. And this one's nice. The Hourglass Sanatorium 4K. We had requests for this one, so we always oblige. New Adam Sandler 4Ks, 51st Dates, and Click. More Looney Tunes cartoons, the complete series. Rounders. And then this one I heard is kind of amazing. This is, I think Baz Luhrmann did this, but he basically made, and it's incredible, maybe even IMAX Elvis concert film. It's called Epic Elvis in 4K. So that is available now. Lots of more pre-orders up. We're going to put a lot more up. Rebecca will of course, be jamming the site Friday morning with anything that I have missed. There's also some Australian pre-orders that came up today. So as you saw on the page, you'll see those come as well. I think there's a Race of Titanic. I think that's up as well. But anyway, lots more pre-orders coming. So always keep up with that. All right, new releases. I'm going to talk about what we have in our hands, which I don't have in my hands physically. But we have these now available. And then I'm going to talk about, oh boy, here it comes. Anyway, this one I think might have gone out of print before it even came out. Matador 4K. This is an excellent early Pedro Almodovar. I think I got the pronunciation right. But anyway, when he was really wacky, Pedro. I love this film. I think it's great. Anyway, it's a 4K available now. Crucible of Horror. I love these guys mainly because they have consecutive numbers and their different company names. But we also love these guys. One is they both focus on different. Well, one focuses on one country mostly, and the other one focuses on a region. Although it's not always that region. But anyway, Second Run, Extreme Private Eros, Love Song 74. They do. They definitely have turned us on to so many Eastern European releases. Like Deaf Crocodile. Thank you very much for that. And then Third Window. We are huge fans of Third Window. We love you, Third Window. We love you, Second Run. Second Run, we love you. Talk to us. We love talking. Anyway, new directors from Japan. That's available now from Third Window. Razorblade Smile. Eureka's version of Danger Diabolik 4K. I took that one home. This was probably, it might be top 10 for me so far. Well, I mean, it's still the early in the year, right? So anyway, I absolutely love Danger Diabolik. Still wish there'd be someone to have an isolated score at some point. I need to look at the special features of that again. And then Studio Canal is the first one to do it. I'm sure there'll be a Criterion eventually this year, but The Devil's Backbone 4K. That's available now too. Lots of other new releases. Just get on the new release page. And we did a cool thing. Charles actually did a cool thing. He's dropped them into days. So you'll see what day we have this stuff available. It's not the street date. It's the stuff that we have them available to send to you. They're available unless they, of course, sell out. But anyway, you can look by day now and scroll down through history. And that's new releases. All right. You ready? Strap yourself in. Here it comes. Let's start with Criterion. Tomorrow we'll have available Point Blank. This definitely is my top 10 of the year so far, and I don't think, like Excalibur, I don't think anything will dislodge it from that. This is absolutely and an excellent release from Criterion. Of course, they always do great work, but this is it. This, for me, I don't think I've seen anything better from Criterion than this release. Opinion, of course. I'm sure there's other things out there as well. Also, these might go live tomorrow. I doubt it, but it might be more of a Friday thing. From our friends at Indicator is a new Jean Rollin, Bolin, Jean Rollin, or Rollin, however you want to pronounce it. Anyway, Living Dead Girl and Grapes of Death. Maybe tomorrow. I'm not going to push it. Anyway, those came in, lots of them, and we'll have lots available for sale. Also, another one that surprise hits, at least in our end of the things. I think this was a hit in the theaters. They're saying a return to form for Sam Raimi to Send Help. Send Help with a slipcover is available. Will be available when we send out the pre-orders. So this could be tomorrow. It might be Friday. This one I'm dying to see. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And now I think this is maybe only a Blu-ray. Also upcoming here next few days, The Eye 4K, Romancing in Thin Air, Confessions of a Police Captain. Those finally came in, and then once the pre-orders get sent out, we will make them available. All right, it has left the country. It is out of England, and it is lumbering our way. But The Killer, I am hoping to see it on Friday. UPS has been squirrely. They've been squirrely, especially with big shipments, but we think we have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. So that being said, we are loaded up with people that can ship. So hopefully starting Friday, we'll be shipping out the pre-orders for The Killer. I really don't think it's going to be available by street date, which is next Monday, but expect it the next day or two after that. We are really good. We load our shipping room up with employees during the week mostly, and there's still a lot of people on the weekends, but ideally we like to see this stuff come in during the week and not on a Friday. So it's going to be maybe a couple less employees to ship these out, but they're the best. Well, they're all the best employees. I'm not going to say one's better than the other, except for you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, The Killer on the way. Also lumbering towards this. I don't know what happened here, but it's on a pallet. And pallets sometimes they get this walked here by horse. I don't know. But anyway, The Soldier and Inner Space are together, and those should be shipping to us any day now. But I do expect them to see them probably the top of next week if we're lucky. And then those will be shipped out immediately. Those not as large as The Killer. The Killer is one of the largest pre-orders we ever had, but these not as large. And these should get sent out pretty fast if your order can be fulfilled. Now, if you have stuff that's still coming out on pre-order, you have to wait till that comes out. Then finally, the cheaper option of No Other Choice 4K from Madman. I think we also will see that in the next couple of days. That was also another huge pre-order. But once again, I have no doubt they'll get that out within a couple of days after it comes in. So that is it from me. Let us read all the killer questions, I'm sure. Oh, you want to start off with the submitted questions?
Yes.
Okay, so these are submitted questions. So the way to do that is this, orbitdvd.com/askorbit or askorbit@orbitdvd.com. That is this right here. So if you watch this, a lot of y'all watch this not live, you watch it later. If you want your question answered, just send it in to me. I'll do my best to answer. I'm truthful, but sometimes competently incorrect. Let's put it that way.
The wisdom well goes deep. You never know what you might turn up when you talk to Marc.
Yeah, well, it's usually a bunch of babble, but
all right. This is from one of our frequent viewers. This is from Reed. Reed says, "Hi, Marc. Wanted to say thank you for the Thing Turbine box set. Question about the posters. Would they count for free shipping if you bundle them with a movie or 3? Hopefully this will be possible in the near future. We'll catch the stream later. Thanks for the weekly updates."
Thank you for the question. The answer right now is no, because we ship free medium mail. Posters, unfortunately, are not medium mail. Medium mail is records, movies, and books, not zines or anything like that. So right now, it does not count for medium mail. In the future, we can maybe, I do want to revisit our free shipping options, and that could include things that are not medium mail, depending on what you buy. But that will involve some research and some testing and things like that. So the time being, unfortunately, no, but that can change. And then we are also looking at our posters that we sell online. Posters actually do better in the store, so we just need to see if the online business for posters is worth it. I think it is, but I just want to see some numbers.
All right, from Spencer. Are you guys able to get the newly announced Steelbooks for Arrows the Warriors 4K and Conan the Barbarian 4K? And can you get the new Pusher Trilogy 4K from Magnolia/Magnet?
Okay, so Pusher we have ordered. I think maybe since there's some other versions out of that, I think maybe we did not offer this as a pre-order, but we will stock it. I would look for it. I think it's coming out on the 5th of May. I look for it maybe a little bit before then, but we are going to carry it. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Now then, the other two, I looked them up. I don't see us being solicited for them. So I don't know if those are exclusives to whoever has them. I think maybe I saw Walmart has them available. I have not heard of an Arrow Walmart collaboration yet. So I can ask my rep that has the place that has Arrow titles and see if that will be available for us. But for the time being, I do not see it.
All right. Last one from the viewer submitted area, not the chat, is from Marc. And Marc is asking about Terravision's 4K release of Hide and Go Shriek, and wondering if there was an ETA on that.
Haven't heard anything yet on those. I think maybe they might be going in order, putting those out. So I would expect we see Gator bait first, because I think that's probably the largest one. But the other ones I have not heard any information on. We have to trust the process. I give Ryan a lot of credit for, he kind of like me, he'll have a problem and then he fixes the problem. In his case with vinyl, well, I'm just going to make a facility that presses my own vinyls. That was his solution for that. So his solution for this was, that finding other places to have these made and, whatever. Now that he might be locked into whatever agreement he had with these particular releases. So Hide and Go Shriek, and then Gator Bait, and then I think Student Bodies. There might be a couple other titles here and there too, but he might have to just wait for that process to play out. But then anything in the future, I have high confidence that it's going to be timely. Because like I said, Ryan is someone who does not say, "Oh, well, sorry." He will find a way. So yeah, that's my answer to that.
All right.
Cool. We'll scroll. The man, the myth, the legend, keeping physical media business alive. Yeah, I'm not Disney, right? Disney just laid off 1,000 people in the media business, the physical media business, which honestly, if they're just letting Sony release them, then I guess that makes sense. Sony's not releasing them fast enough for us, right? I mean, I want them cranking Disney films out like every week. I mean, I want all that stuff. Sony, give me the Apple Dumpling Gang. Come on, man. Let's make this happen. Yes. Sounds like some copies of Interstate shipped, but not very many. Did some copies come in? Yeah. For some reason, there was just a gap. I'm maybe blaming the holidays on this a little bit. Like once again, I said this last week. I never would have thought that Easter would have been so disruptive in the whole world market. Now, this is a U.S. release, but I think a lot of it stems from the fact that maybe a lot of facilities, a lot of places, or a lot of people are off during this period of time, and I think maybe that has something to do with it. don't quote me on that. I don't know, but like, we're at the mercy of whoever ships us the movies. But rest assured, as soon as they come in, we send them out instantaneously a lot of times. But yeah, like we got a small trickle of interspaces in, not nearly enough to cover what we have out there. But anyway, the rest we should see here hopefully within a week. Hi, will Elvis Easy Come, Easy Go via Vision be shipping soon? There is a bunch of Australian titles coming in the next couple of days. So let's see if that's part of that. This won't take too long. Maybe. There we go. What's that? Not seeing it on there. Yeah, so the issue with, it's not much of an issue, but like, it's easy virtue there. The Australian stuff is just, when it comes, it comes. And now it's not like a situation like Massacre Terravision where it could be a while, but like, it could be delayed a week or two or come early a week or two. Yeah, I'm not seeing easy come, easy go, although we did close a pre-order. So usually when we close a pre-order, we should be seeing it sometime in the near future. So that's what's happening here. Hey, Mark, do you have an update about the Jackie Chan standard 4Ks I asked about last week? Yeah, they should be on the way. And then we just got to enter them in the system. So they actually might be here now. If that's the case, I'll enter them tomorrow. So check back tomorrow. But once again, I don't know if they showed up yet, but we'll see. Will you be listing Warner Archives May slate? Dr. Lau is a huge release for me. Yeah, I need to double check and see if Warner Archives is up. So a lot of these major studios, they're soliciting us very, very late. In the case of, like, say, Alice in Wonderland, we didn't see that information up until this week. And it's coming out in like 2 weeks, maybe 3. But like, I also, Dr. Lau, trust me, that's on my radar as well. So let's see here. Yeah, we're not seeing the Warner Archives yet. So that's kind of a bummer. Because we definitely do a pre-order for these. Yeah, there's really nothing through my distributor for Warner Archives yet. However, I think we usually do see it like maybe 3 weeks before it comes out. So stay tuned. Do you think you get the blue of Raising Arizona back in stock as well as the Arrow 2-movie pack or Rogue Cops, 2 Trime fillers? Yeah, I think the one of those is still available. I think the Crime. Oh, that's one title. Okay, we'll see. That might be just totally sold out. So D2 Mighty Ducks is the new hot title. It's the Disney Movie Club titles. Now, most of those are not really worth a ton of money, but some are. So like Black Hole, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and then the next tier, D2 for some reason. I guess that's the best D out there, the best Mighty Ducks. I don't know. But anyway, next tier down, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Watcher in the Woods, and then lots of stuff's only still worth like maybe $15, $20 new or used or whatever. So yeah, the Disney Movie Club has created a scarcity because they shut down their shop a couple of years ago. Has created a demand for a lot of these titles that they released. I would say probably the Mighty Ducks 2 is the most expensive one I've ever seen yet. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I think, hovers around 100. You should buy them if you see them out in the wild. Buy them, because it's worth the risk, especially if it's only a few dollars a piece. You guys are crazy or nuts applies to North Jersey locations. Yeah. Well, guess who might be moving there? Not me, but somebody I know. Is Hoboken any good? Newark, Hoboken? Asking for a friend. One-off sales like that would be perfect for a one-night auction. Yeah, and that's something that we are going to explore in the future for sure. The issue we're running into is we've added I think 400 titles to the used movie site, and I think we're only down to like maybe we've sold hundreds in the past week alone. So y'all are ravenous for this stuff, and just trying to keep demand for anything used is a challenge. And then we have a sale on top of that, and it's even more so. But yeah, I agree on that. And then we all have our store too. So like we have another outlet for used movies besides the online business. You just listed the newly announced imprint titles today. There's a batch announced a couple weeks ago that have gone for pre-order. Needs to be available for pre-order. Yeah, once we get the information about that, we'll make them available for pre-order. Yes. Youth Gone Wild, Tales of Adventure. Yeah, the Tales of Adventure is very popular for us. So yeah, we'll make all that available. I'm excited about Youth Gone Wild. I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to be. People are freaking out about Disney layoffs. Should you be worried about it? Your opinion, please. Well, they no longer were releasing physical media. They once again, Disney Movie Club, and then they handed over the reins of releases to Sony. So there is no more physical media wing of Disney. It's all Sony at this point. There's going to be, I guess, people working with them in the Disney company as far as what to release, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, it was over. Now that I'm kind of curious to see what happens with the Warner Brothers Paramount merger. Warner Brothers is one of the best major studios, I think, releasing physical media. So, and also Paramount does it too. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens there. Will Paramount become part of Warner Archives? That'd be kind of cool, right? The reports have been that physical media still had a decline last year, but I think it was a slower. It wasn't a free fall like it has been happening for the past, say, decade and a half. I think it's more like this now. And then I believe 4Ks actually are going up in sales. So there's hope. But I was like companies like Disney just needs to go ahead and license their stuff and 20th Century Fox to Criterion and Arrow and Severin and things like that. Okay, we answered that one. 4K of Fire and Ice is supposed to be the next Blue Underground. Yeah, I heard about that. Are you still getting Warner Archives? I was waiting for the Gate of Orsay from last month. Yes. I'll check into that. Big Trouble in Little China shirt. Are you hinting a Disney release this year? I'm not saying 100% certain on all this, but come on, it's the 40th anniversary, and Sony, I think Sony will put that out. There's just too much money to be made out there for them not to. So, and I think that'll be like the Steelbook, and then the standard with slip, and then UK Steelbook. That's happening. I think Fight Club is following that pattern. So I do expect it, but I don't know. The German release is Death Falls Lightly. Thank you for that. Prince of Darkness is good. Well, okay. Underrated. Yeah. Gonna be ready to purchase John Woo's Bull in the Head when it's in your store. Love Hard Boiled and the Killer. Yeah, same here. It's an awesome shirt. I want one. This pizza party, right? This pizza party. I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So many shirt companies have come and gone. I love them. Love these guys a lot. I have a few like House. I got a House from every company actually. Question about Visual Vengeance title. It says slipcover and listing, but picture doesn't show it. Will it come with? You talking about the new one? The only reason I ask is the other Visual Vengeance titles will show with the slip, like for Bloody Muscle, Bodybuilder from Hell. Yeah. So I think the new ones that we got today to ship out have slips. They all start with slips. So if you're looking for a new title, that's it. Now a lot of this stuff is a stock photo, and then we will the Visual Vengeance. Like some of the stuff has come back with slips. The slips were out for a while, then we're getting them back in. So we will put with slipcover in the product page for that. So if you're wondering a lot, look on the page. If it says with slipcover, then it will have the slipcover. The Godard box set from Radiance and they'll sell it quick. Yeah, I think so. Private Benjamin, so young, so lovely, so vicious, and Nashville going to be shipped soon. It's excited. Yeah, I don't know the dates for that. We get a restock of Luc Besson's Dracula 4K. Yeah, that's the plan. The German stuff, and then continental European stuff. So France, Italy, and whatnot. Although we now have a direct connection to Sweden, which is nice. They get handled by a great handler over there, and he basically just fills a box up. So I mentioned this pretty much every live stream, but it's just a smattering of everything that we want new releases. So Frighteners, Night of the Hunter, things like Hellraiser, things like that. So, instead of getting 1,000 copies of something, I'm just making that up. I don't think we sold 1,000 anything from Germany or continental Europe, but we'll just get pieces of these things. Well, although we want tons more, it's just trickling in. But the good news is it used to be like once a month. Now it's pretty much weekly or sometimes twice a week. So we have been able to satiate, I think, a lot of demand for some of these titles. So yeah, just hang in there. We'll get it. Any chance of stocking 4 Colts 4K of Pirates? We want it. We were talking about it. So again, the continental European releases, we don't do pre-orders for unless there's very, very unusual circumstances where we're 100% guaranteed. But once it comes in, and we'll carry it. But we want it. Actually, believe it or not, I saw that in the theater. Might have been one of the first Polanski films I've ever seen. It's also the dirtiest pirate movie, right? Like they all look dirty in the other pirate movies, but it's just disgusting, the whole film. We get a restock of Spawn in the North from Indicator. I'm not quite sure about that. Sorry. Have you heard anything about Seven releasing a standard version of their Bay of Blood 4K? We normally receive standard versions of Severin titles. So it usually takes a couple of months before we get solicited with them. So I imagine we'll probably see it sooner than later. I wish that Mortal Kombat got a separate Arrow release instead of being combined with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah. I mean, that's sorry. Chained to it forever. I've heard rumors about Criterion releasing Deliverance sometime soon. Any info on something like that? I mean, that sounds right? You got John Borman still with us. Although the Excalibur release, they do interview him. He's now, living the rest of his days with Charlie Borman. So they interview him as well. But he's still sharp, but he's winding down. So, it feels like that'd be a great release for Criterion or Arrow. There's no telling who will put that out. How limited is the Jackie Chan breakout set? It's I don't think that's limited at all, really. A lot of these box sets we have no problems restocking. That could change though. It's like I don't know how many copies they're printing of this. So I feel like that if you're waiting to pre-order it, I would still pre-order it. But I think you can probably wait until closer to the time that it comes out to do so. Mark, have you heard there's a PC game called Retro Rewind where you run a 90s video store? You should watch a video of the game sometime. We have. Of course, we thought about ripping that off somehow, but we are playing the game. We're playing the game right now. Come on down to the physical store. Any news on the Raw ones or Mermaids of Tiburon from BCI? They've been postponed several times, holding up a big order I placed in June. Wow. No, haven't heard anything about that. At this point, we're cool with what you want to do. So if you feel like that you want to get everything else, just email us at this right here. No, that's the wrong one. Here, this one here. Don't do that one. Do this one, and just talk to the shippers. At this point, they're gonna accommodate you. So it's up to you. Hey, Mark, the announcement of Vampire's Kiss has transmission releases on my radar now. How quickly these limited editions tend to go? Immediately. They go fast. So don't sleep on this. I feel like you discussed pre-release, so apologize for the rehash. No reason at all to apologize for anything, by the way. The transmission titles especially, let's just say that Radiance is the hot shit right now. They are incredible. We got a great relationship with these guys, by the way, and well, I don't want to give anything away until the ink is dry. But anyway, these are going incredibly fast whenever they come out. We have yet to see one, I think, last a month. And we are ordering a ton of copies of these. So keep that in mind. You should be good up until the point of it being released until we get to fulfill the pre-orders. But after that, it's game on. So keep that in mind, especially this one. I personally think this is Cage's best film, but once again, an opinion, right? I live right next to Hoboken and Jersey City. I need to tell her that's where to look. Solid place, a hell of a nightlife. Yeah, I mean, you're basically a suburb in New York, right? You see them right across the bay there. A river. It's a river or bay. I can't remember. Would Disney be afraid to license the Severin and Vinegar Syndrome due to Disney's public image? What image? There's no image left here. I'd say Touchstone Films, right? I mean, why not? In terms of movies in the Fox catalog, I'm sad about Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. Is that a print? I might be the only one. Yeah, I mean, like there's films like that, they're going to be, I guess, caught in all this. It's like if they're refusing to license these films, then a lot of these films are going to be lost in the tail of time, right? So I feel that they need to loosen up a little bit and make these available, because the Sony will never get around to Dirty Larry, Crazy Mary, or Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. That's right. Joined late, not sure it's been addressed, but do you know what brand the limited run shirts be printed at?
Yes.
I'll be buying regardless if some fit different others. Yeah, I agree. Oh. Gilden Soft Style. Gilden Soft Style. I personally like the Gildens. I know that's another opinion. There's other shirts I think that have the thickness of Gildens and the fit, but they feel smoother. I guess maybe it's just the rough edges of the inside of the shirt. But yeah, that's Gilden Soft Style is how they're going to be printed. We've answered this question almost weekly. We've been receiving the corrected disc from Tales of Adventure set. If so, automatically send them to customers who purchase a set or you request them. I believe any new restocks are fixed. Anything previously we have sent out. I was told that the shipper sent out the corrected disc to everybody at this point. So if you order it in the pre-order process, please contact us here, and then they can look into it for you. But as far as I know, all the discs went, and then we attached the corrected disc to anything that we were sending out for a while. So I think it's all good. Hoboken is very congested in New Jersey and the USA with people in traffic or easy transportation to New York City, though. Expensive, though. One accident ruined everybody's day there. I guess you just use mass transit. Marquee Camaflex restock. Yeah, we'll get restocked with that as long as we can. I love that movie. I wish there was an Orbit store in Los Angeles. That'd be killer successful. I like staying married, so unless I franchise it, it stays in Asheville. Said I missed out on Stuntman 4K from Radiance, unless you go to a store.
Mm-hmm.
Stop teasing your secret plans with Radiance, my favorite label. I won't say nothing. Sorry to ask this horrible question. If I have vision behind on your pre-orders or a few, again, I'll repeat, anything from Australia is, just hang tight, mate. It comes when it comes. Most of them are very close to street date. It could be before, it could be after, but yeah, just be patient. They're coming. We have received one Australian shipment, and we're getting another one in a day or two. So it could be all of them. Okay. Late to the game. Did I hear it's not an issue to adjust pre-orders now? Not now. There are many exceptions, but well, yes, I'll give you the one exception. I'm usually cool to wait, but I have an order from April 2025 waiting on one title. The NVD has pushed to 12/31/26. Yeah, so that 12/31/26 is just basically a placeholder for their the computers. There's no telling when that's going to come out. But anyway, if you've been waiting a year for something that you placed, then yeah, please contact us here and explain your situation, and they'll take care of you. Now then, the refund. PayPal doesn't do refunds past 6 months, so we'll have to send you a gift card for a refund. But we're more than happy to help you at this point. What we do stop is people that just want to keep jostling stuff around because it is extremely difficult and disruptive. But if you are waiting a year at this point, then I'm more than happy to give you the stuff that you have been very patiently waiting for. Bill Hunt went off on Disney in today's digital bits. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just, it is what it is, right? I mean, like once he heard that Disney and Fox, the real bad news is when Disney merged with Fox, right? When they bought Fox, that's the first bad news. The second bad news is when you heard that Sony is releasing Disney and Fox releases, because now Sony is releasing Sony, Disney, and Fox releases, and they're doing a great job, but they're doing a slow job. I mean, they really, like I said, they can put stuff out daily and it'll never clear the vault out. So, it's once you heard that news, you should have just steeled yourself up to it being over, or at least extremely hobbled, unless Disney and Fox decide that they will finally license a majority of their product. Some of it is available here and there. I think Mill Creek actually has the Pauly Shore DVDs, for example. But anyway, a lot of this stuff needs to be seen and collected and held on to. All right, Kevin, you're talking about Tales of Adventure. Just email us and tell the shippers you never got one, and they'll take care of you. And this is really the only thing that you need to do for any type of order questions you have is to do that. The shippers, someone's assigned to order to answer emails all day long. A couple slide by, but that's how it goes. But that most of them answer you really fast. So because we want to resolve your issue that you have with your order. I was driving to Savannah when I knew Vinegar Syndrome titles dropped and missed something. We all be getting them soon. I mean, like we received them. We received that month's titles the first of the next month. Now, usually we'll see them the last full week of that current month. So traditionally we would see them next week. Whether that happens now or it's the week after, we'll see. How come Uncommon Valor on 4K 1347 on Amazon? Because those major corporations are able to strong arm deals out of these companies. I have to wait for sales.
I am also trying to find it for that price online, and I don't see it.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, I see Uncommon Valor Blu-ray for $26.99. And it's even showing that it's marked down from 44, but then if you actually go to that product page, it only takes me to the
I'm only seeing, let's see here,
Prime page.
I'm not seeing an option for 4K. There it is. Can buy all three. And I hate how they do
for a day or two. That's hard to say.
You can't even. Yeah, the 4K of Uncommon Valor is not that price. So now I have heard of Amazon doing regional deals. That's so you might have that. That's great. Take advantage of it. Thanks for the info on Radiance to their limited standard releases, different much in terms of disc content. As far as I know, no, they don't. I mean, a lot of it's just packaging a lot. I think like a book and things like that. This was earlier in the week for Uncommon Valor. Well, I guess it's over now. So, hey, so let's talk about this a little bit. I'm a movie fan. I love I'm doing what I'm doing. I want you to be able to do what you do, which is collect. And I have no problems with you finding a deal like that out there and taking advantage of it. So it's just the way it is. It's like there's things that I can't control in this business. So I just stick to stuff that I can control. And so far, so good. But that happens. So just keep your eyes out. And hopefully it will come undamaged.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Camel right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Camel shows me that it dropped for 1 day down to 13, but that was 1 day.
Wow. Okay. Why 1 day and back up? That's weird. You get pretty good deals on shipping, though. I save money buying from you over Amazon. Yeah, so that is a fallacy about places like us is the fact that we are expensive for everything, and that's not the case. We are competitive, I feel, with Amazon, and a lot of times we're actually cheaper. A lot of times we're actually cheaper than Amazon, especially when we're ordering direct from a lot of these companies, which we do. So I'm happy to be able to provide that service for you. But I also have no problem with you shopping around either. So, if you see something like that again and you want the film, hell yeah, get it. Maybe I'll order 1,000 copies of them and charge $16.99. They won't let me get 1,000 copies.
We thankfully have no third parties and no third party distributors. Well,
the warehouses are a middleman. So
yeah.
Now direct is direct, and a lot of like the prices we get direct are amazing. So that we are able to compete. Do you think Wake and Fright from Arrow Video will sell fast? I don't, because I feel like that maybe that Seminal Australian film was I think most people are happy with the Seminal Australian company that put that out. Was it last year or maybe 2 years ago? I feel that I don't think that people will upgrade, although people do like the thick boxes. They do like that a lot. So I do think it will sell, but I think Arrow is probably aware it's not going to be a humongous title for them. Now then, that being said, they might have made less copies, or not as many copies to satiate demand. But it's selling well, but it's not really setting the world on fire. All right, I think we're good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it. You never seen Wake and Fright? I'll end it with this. You have to see Wake and Fright. Do not miss that film. Incredible movie. And like I said, I think they cite that film as maybe kicking off the exploitation movement in the 70s and 80s. So definitely check out Wake and Fright. And I'm going to leave it at that with a recommendation. So I'm going to call it. Have a great weekend. More used product coming up. Blue Underground sale coming up on the 27th. Lots of stuff coming up in the near future. So stay tuned.